Hey crafty friends, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. My name is Sammy, and on today's video we are going to upcycle some thrift store finds. We are going to have fun, get creative, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. I am going to take this pretty little piece. It was $7.99 and 50% off. It is made in China. It is not real silver or any of that. So I love the detail around the edges, and that's really what the standout is going to be, because we're going to cover the inside. And I'm not going to paint the back. I don't think it's necessary. I will obviously clean it, but we are going to use aviary for the outside, and then I'm going to go in with the pressed flowers decoupage paper for the inside of this. So let's get started with this upcycle. We're going to start off by getting that aviary, and I'm just going to paint the outside rim of this tray. And let me tell you, you guys, I left my paintbrushes in the water for probably like a week and finally decided I needed to wash them. So all my chippy brushes were wet and drying. So I used one of these like synthetic brushes, and let me tell you, doing details with the chippy brush is so much easier. So I'm going to do 2 coats of aviary around the entire tray, and you'll see why we're not painting the middle. And then, since DIY paints are water soluble, you can easily wipe off any extra paint, which is what I am doing on our gold handles. I love the mixed metal, so I am going to distress this down with my baby wipe on all of the beautiful roses that are around my tray. Excuse me, you guys. And then we are going to then paint the middle white. So we're going to use that decoupage paper, and you don't have to do this. However, decoupage paper is thin, so whatever you put under it is going to show. So if you put a darker paint, your paper is going to look darker. If you put lighter, like I am, your image is going to pop more, and you'll see that at the end when I show you the reveal. So I'm going to do 2 coats of white swan in the middle so that our paper pops. I'm going to lay that decoupage paper over the tray, and then with my finger I'm going to press down so that I get an outline on the back of it as to where I need to cut my excess paper. I sound like I'm going through puberty. My voice keeps cutting in and out. I'm going to take this makeup brush. It's just an old makeup brush. Dip it into some water, and then this way I could easily just pull all that excess paper away. I prefer to do it this way because I know if I were to go in with scissors and try to get this like precise cut, I think it would look more janky than just having this ripped paper around the edges, and it seems more like thoughtful in the process. Now we're going to take our liquid patina. This is a decoupage medium, and you can use it to seal your projects. I'm going to put a coat on the bottom, and then I'm going to use my plastic wrap to push and smooth down that decoupage paper. I'm going to repeat this process all the way down the middle of the tray, and then I'm going to put a coat on top of my paper to seal my paper, and then I'm also going to use the liquid patina to seal in my paint as well. And then this will dry down matte. Next, I'm not going to show you all of these, you guys, but I just took random resin mold pieces that I had in my drawer, and I'm going to paint them all up into coordinating colors that go with the decoupage paper. And I'm going to take these magnets that I get at Dollar Tree. Be mindful, they do have a small one and like a medium size one. I'm using the small one for all of these. I'll hot glue those to the back, and then that way I could put it on my little memo board, and whomever buys it will get these magnets along with them. And you guys, this turned out so cute. For being $4, we completely transformed this tray. I think it looks gorgeous with the mixed metals, this decoupage paper, which is pressed flowers, and I ended up attaching a sawtooth hanger to the back with some glue, but this turned out great. And if you guys could see that darker paint around the edges? Yeah, there you go. I have been seeing tons of Pinterest posts on like turning teapots, coffee pots, all that stuff into decor. So I had to think about that. So that is what I'm gonna do. This was only $2. It is stainless steel, but you guys, like I've said, usually I do try to sell these things on my website first, and if they don't sell, then I upcycle them. So that's what we're doing here. So hopefully it turns out like I imagined. So what felt like eternity of trying to clean all of the stickers off of this teapot, I am finally getting my crinoline and some salt wash. I wanted to create some texture. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I don't really do like grungy looks very often. It's not my personal style, but for this teapot, I decided I was going to attempt it. So you guys will have to let me know if I achieved the look or not. So with the salt wash, I wanted to create texture so it looked like there was like layers upon layers on this pot. And so I am just going over the entire thing just with a messy brush. So you're gonna see brush strokes in this. And then for my second coat, I am just going to dip that same brush into just paint. So not the salt wash mixture, just paint. And I'm gonna stipple that over just to get more coverage. It's still gonna show the brush strokes, but that's okay. I'm then going to take one of these transfers. You guys, this comes out of the booklet that I still have not been able to get a hold of because it's been out of stock since I've been a stockist. So one day we'll get it. I'm gonna cut this down so that this floral fits our pot. And I'm gonna use some of the words a little later to also go on there as well. And if y'all are like, does the transfer stick to the salt wash texture? Yes, ma'am, it does. It attaches perfectly. If you guys saw the end table DIY video I did, I also used a transfer on that salt wash and it works great. So I will say we do need to burnish this in very well. And we want to do that because it's almost like the transfer sitting on top of all of that texture. And we want to make sure that transfer gets into all of the grooves that we created with the salt wash so that nothing comes off. Here I am. I'm going to use some of like the wording that also came on the bottom of this transfer, put one on the top right, and then we're also going to get another little scrap piece and I'm going to put that on the bottom left corner. Just trying to utilize what I have of this transfer, and of course we'll use the extra in a later video or something. After that, I am going to take my DIY clear wax. I'm going to put this on top of the entire teapot, or is this a coffee pot? I don't know. And this is going to seal in our paint, our salt wash, and our transfer, as well as help me wipe back this dark wax. So I put this in random spots. This was my attempt at grunging up the teapot. I'm applying it to random spots on here, and then I am kind of buffing it back out with a paper towel. Now, the more like clear wax that's under it, the easier you'll be able to wipe it back. And I will say, when you're dealing with salt wash and wax, if you use a microfiber cloth, you're gonna get off more of that wax if that's the look you're going for. And here's how it turned out. I think it was a great way of upcycling the teapot. You'll have to let me know if I achieved the grungy look, but I love how this transfer looks like it's always been a part of this. It came out gorgeous. I'm gonna take this cheese grater, and I've seen these done so many different ways. But we're gonna do something where I can possibly use it in my booth. So let me show you what I'm gonna turn mine into. I decided to have a little fun with this, and we're gonna apply some molds to the front and back using E6000 and some hot glue. This is gonna be like our paintbrush from last week. I am just like going ham on it and having fun. I took it outside and got this satin sweet pea Rust-Oleum color and sprayed the entire grater with this, and then I cleared it with the Clear Matte by Rust-Oleum. Once that was dry, I'm going to take this gold ribbon I have. I am going to take some Type-On wood glue and I'm going to attach that. I also thought about using like a mold from the trimmings mold, but I didn't have enough time. So I chose this ribbon. And again, we're just having fun. This might not be somebody's particular style, but that's not what I'm going for here. I am just going for having fun being creative with it. So of course I had to take out my golden gilded wax and put that on top of our molds. Then I'm taking the antiquity stamp. I like using the antiquity stamp for smaller projects because there's a lot of different elements in here. And what's nice, just how you saw me use the dog, sorry you guys, my voice, is you can wipe away parts that you don't want of the stamp. So I used the dog's head. I didn't want his body, so I just wiped that off with a baby wipe. And you can do that with many of the stamps in this little collection here. So I'm just putting random stamps. I thought about molds, but there will be jewelry on here. So I wanted the jewelry to still be able to lay flat instead of kind of like wonky on top of a mold. Now we're just gonna go in just like we did with that paintbrush, y'all, and we are going to put some of those paper flowers on them. I put clusters kind of like in the left side, the bottom right, and just kind of went to town on it, put some of those crystals on there. And although this might not be somebody's style, I'm using it as a jewelry display in my booth. So this will be for maybe like the earrings or brooches that like I don't want hidden on the cards. I want to kind of like stand out. And this would be great for any of you guys that are kind of like shabby chic, country chic, make it white. I mean, possibilities are endless on how you can make this your own, but I think using it as a jewelry display is so much fun. The earrings do fit in these little holes too on the sides. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it sparked some creativity or thought for the next project you want to do. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hey everybody, this is our end of the video update check-in. How is everybody doing? What are you currently working on? I would love to know in comments. I am trying my best to keep up with the videos. You guys, I only did 3 DIYs in this video, yet it was such a mission. And you guys, first and foremost, I want you to know that I don't tell you these things like for sympathy or anything. I'm just trying to include you in my life and tell you what's going on with me. But this pregnancy, oh my gosh, I'm going to be 31 weeks this week. And like I said last week, like I haven't been getting any sleep. And now it's like daily that like my legs are aching. I finally got compression socks that fit me, so I have been wearing those. So I'm trying to be proactive, but it's been a stretch, like just doing the DIYs, packaging my orders still, you know, obviously living my day-to-day of being like a mom and all of that stuff. I am exhausted, but I am still going. So Please hang in there with me. If you guys are ordering from the website, thank you so much. Please be patient with me. And I've told you guys this before, like my ship time went from like me doing it in 3 days to now it taking like almost a week to get things out. And that's just, I'm moving at a slower pace and it's more physically strenuous for me versus like doing a craft. So just give me a little grace there. Once the baby comes and I get my body back, I will be back to shipping at my normal rate. So thank you guys so much. I also want you guys to keep in mind, baby is due July 11th. We are getting induced. And when that time comes, I will probably take like 2 weeks off. So I will have older content on my channel in order just to keep the channel going. So even if you've watched it, which I know most of you have, especially those of you that like are at the end of the video, please watch them anyways, have them running in the background. It'll really help my channel and it'll help me be able to just take that little bit of time off, 2 weeks. My parents are actually going to be here for about a month, from like July 2nd to July 31st or something. So that's going to be an amazing, huge help. So I'm going to keep reminding you guys of that as we get closer and closer. And thank you guys for all of the support. I love chatting here with you guys on the premieres, and I hope you guys are continuing to get inspired, continuing to try new things and get out of your comfort zone. And I'm going to challenge you guys this week to grab a craft that you set aside, saying, I'll get to it later. I challenge you to go grab that item and finish it. If you are on the Facebook group page, then I want you to post that finished product on there and say that, Sammy, it's done. Okay. And even, it'd be so much fun too if you took a picture of like where you left off and then like what the finished product looks like. So I appreciate you all. I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous week. And I will see you back here on, I don't know if I'm going to do a thrift haul this week. I'm just not feeling too great. So I will definitely be here on Saturday for the thrift flip road trip with the crafting cousins. So look out for that video on Saturday. All right. Bye, my friends.